Reading again from this book, The Solace of Fierce Landscapes, has brought some rather prescient insights, I guess, for me that I wanted to share. There was one here. He's talking about geographical determinism, which means, the effect that a geographical place has on us, and how quite often in spiritual life, there's this idea that going on pilgrimage or being in a place is somehow going to magically transport us to a higher level of understanding. And he says here, I can imagine that finding the right desert monastery, making the best mountain retreat, will occasion in itself involuntary holiness. But the desert, the mountain, offer no such guarantee. Physically being there is never enough. Growth in spiritual life requires adopting a conscious habit of being. Far too easily do we embrace the illusion that changing places is the simplest way of changing ourselves. That's the problem when we identify ourselves with the changing world, with the changing body and the changing mind, when that's where we go for information about ourselves, as we've talked about in the past. When you want to know how you are, you query the mind or the body. And so it's trained us into this habit that the changing things of the world are the things that we can use and manipulate in order to change our experience of being, our experience in the world. But that never works. That is always temporary at best. What needs to change is this cultivated habit of being. And the important idea there is this cultivated habit. It's you, like a connoisseur of life, paying attention to your own nature, to the things that are part and parcel of your character, of what you are. Focusing on the things that you know to be true. That you are alive, that you exist, that you are absolutely free, that you are a character of love, that you are a character of thinking and contemplation, that the real you is an ever silent watcher and appreciator of being. And to cultivate that notion, to go inside for the more subtle and finer things of life. Because all of this barrage of experience that comes in through the body-mind is constantly changing and is not dependable for creating a circumstance in which bliss can manifest in a steady way. That bliss belongs to you. That joy belongs to you. That inner zest for life belongs to you. Now, things on the outside can remind you of it, but they can't manifest it. They can't make it come true. And so that's what the writer is saying here, that there isn't a magical monastery for you. There isn't a magical place of pilgrimage for you that's going to bring about the changes that you want in your life. There is not a set of circumstances that's going to make those things happen. You have to cultivate this habit of being. You have to do the hard work. You have to do the self-discipline. You have to do the first part of being in charge of yourself, being in charge of your own mind, being in charge of your own body. That you tell them what they get. They don't get to argue with just senses of restlessness that cause you to shrug and move around and try and find someplace more comfortable. You know from lying in a bed that comfort changes from moment to moment, and that positions only provide temporary comforts before it's time to roll over again. So learn from simple things like that. That's the nature of life. You have to find something within yourself that you love. You have to find something within yourself that's inspiring. You have to find something inside yourself that's steady and unchanging and dependable. And spiritual life is about that. It's about cultivating the now, becoming a connoisseur of being, a studier of isness. It has a lot to do with silent contemplation, of learning to be comfortable with your inner self without any need for stimulus or distraction. It means cultivating a silent peace within you that can be always recognized and depended upon when the outside world gets quite hectic or noisy. It's about touching an inner confidence of what you are and who you are by knowing that you are complete, that you are whole as you are in this moment. To cultivate a sense of faith in the nature of what you're experiencing, that it is born of love, that it is born of intelligence, that it is the hand of the beloved, the world that you live in. And in this moment, if you can't find that peace within, then sit quietly in there and ask yourself, what do I need? What am I not doing that I know I should be doing? And begin one by taking care of that list. Those things that you aren't doing, that you know that you should be doing, are the place to begin on cultivating this habit of being.